Hello friends, welcome to the Plant Science Forum. Now in this video we are going to discuss about phytochromes, which is covered under the broad topic photoperiodism. Now just to revise what actually photoperiodism is. It refers to the response of organism to the relative length of day and night, and on that basis and according to the photoperiod the plants are divided into three categories: short day plants, long day plants and day neutral plants. We already discussed in previous video that with response to the relative length of day and night, the stimulus is pursued by the leaves. The stimulus is pursued by the leaves, and the particular chemical stimulator, that is fluorigene, is after synthesis from the leaves travels from the stem to the apical tip, and from at the apical tip it transforms the vegetative stage into the reproductive stage. So this is how photoperiodism works for the influence on the flowering. Now let's discuss phytochrome, the actual point of discussion in this video. Now these are the proteinaceous pigment which regulate the response of plant toward the flowering. Now they believe to be located on the cell membrane. So that's why we can say that they act as a photoreceptor and thus showing its effect on the developmental and morphogenetic processes. Now if we want to discuss phytochromes with respect to short day plant, then we can say that the brief exposure of plants to the red light during critical dark period inhibits the flowering, because we know that short day plants they require very less amount, that is lower than the critical day length of day condition, and it requires maximum amount, that is more than the critical day length, that is dark period is requirement is more as compared to the day condition. So in that critical dark period when the plant is exposed to a red light, it shows the inhibition of flowering. So all these responses they are covered or they are perceived by a phytochromes. Now this phytochrome is actually exist in two form: PR form, that is inactive, you can see it as a phytochrome red form, and PFR, which is a active form, you can see it as a phytochrome far red form. Where this PFR is actually active form which governs the various responses of plants, and PR is a inactive form. The active PFR, it acts as a trigger for developmental and morphogenetic processes. Now just look at this diagram here. The as I already said, PR form is a inactive form, but when this PR form is exposed to a red light condition in the wavelength of about 660 nanometer, it get converted into a PFR form, which is actually active form. Now this PFR form get accumulated and its level increases during the day, and when it comes to the night condition and the plant is exposed to far red light, that is about 730 nanometer, this active form get converted into inactive PR form. So this conversion actually, as compared to the PR converting into PFR, the conversion of PFR into the PR is very slow. This is already mentioned here. When it comes to darkness, the conversion of PFR into the PR is a slow process, and slowly in the night the inactive form of PR it levels increases. So this is how the inactive and active form of phytochrome, it changes with respect to the light. Now if you want to talk about the physico-chemical nature of phytochrome, then by the diagram you can see that it is a dimer which consists of two identical monomeric units. So this complete is a dimer of phytochrome which consists of two monomeric unit. This is one monomeric unit and this is another monomeric unit, and every single monomeric unit it consists of a protein part and one chromophore. So in this diagram you can see that this complete bundle, which is dark blue in color, is actually protein, globular water soluble protein form, and this square blue color part, it is a chromophore part. So both these constitute a single monomeric unit, and these two identical monomeric unit, it comprises a single phytochrome, which is a dimer. So we can say that a single unit of phytochrome or a dimer unit, it contains two protein part and two chromophore part. Now let's discuss about in specifically about the protein part. This protein part contains three disulfide bond. As you can see here, these are the three disulfide bond formed by the cysteine residues, and the other protein part, of which 60% amino acid are lysine, histidine, arginine, asparagine, serine, glutamic acid, and glutamine. So this major amino acid comprises about the 60% of total amino acid of complete protein part, and the significant aspect is it contains a 3 disulfide bond. From this complete protein part, one domain it acts as a photoreceptor, and the lower domain it contains the kinase activity that triggers actually a cellular responses. Now the second part is the chromophore. Now this chromophore is linked to a protein monomer via cysteine residue. As we have already seen in this diagram, here you can see this chromophore is linked to a protein part via a cysteine residue. Now this chromophore, it actually contains the 4 pyrrole ring, 1, 2, 3 and 4. It contains 4 pyrrole ring which are arranged in linear fashion, that is in row. You can see they are arranged in linear fashion. Now during the interconversion of PR form to PFR form, that is inactive red phytochrome form is getting converted into active far red phytochrome form, and during this conversion redistribution and shifting of double bond takes place in the pyrrole rings. You can see that these pyrrole ring, they consist of a double bond at various position. So when phytochrome is exposed to far red condition or red condition, whatever may be the case, during that time the interconversion is governed by the distribution, redistribution and shifting of double bonds in the pyrrole ring. You can see in this diagram. Now what actually the mode of action is? It is believed that during the daytime PFR form, during the daytime PFR form of phytochrome is accumulated in plants, causing inhibition of flowering in a short day plants. Here we are talking with respect to the short day plants. What we have said, that during the daytime PFR, which is the active form of phytochrome, is accumulated in plants, causing inhibition of flowering in short day plants, and in contrast to this, it actually stimulates the flowering in long day plants. So the concentration and day condition is same if you are talking contrary to the short day and long day plant. Now again I am repeating, for a short day plant the concentration, accumulated concentration of PFR, it inhibits the flowering, but for the long day plants the accumulated concentration of far red form, it stimulates the forming. Now when it comes to critical dark period in short day forms, the PFR form gradually changes into the PR form, resulting in the flowering. So this reversion and induction of flowering is for short day plants. Now the PR form is again converted into a PR form in presence of brief red light exposure, resulting in again inhibition of flowering. So this is a cyclic process from day to night condition. So when it changes into the night condition, PR form become prevalent, which is the inactive form. So ultimately it induces the flowering in short day plants, but again in the day condition PR is converted into PFR form in presence of red light, so it get converted into active PFR form, so inhibit the flowering in short day condition. In short day plants, the inhibitory effect of red light during the critical dark period, that means if the plant is exposed to critical dark period and suddenly it get exposed to red light, which actually inhibits the flowering. In that condition, the inhibitory effects of red light can be reversed by exposing the short day plants to the far red light region. So does it reverse the formation of PFR and it accumulates the PR molecule, so flowering can be induced. So this is how actually a interconversion of PR and PFR works for the induction of flowering. Now there are certain physiological roles of phytochromes. Let's talk about the seed germination. When it comes to seed germination, the red light enhances the rate of germination and far red light decreases the rate of seed germination. Now for the seedling growth, when dicot plants are grown in the far red light, it shows the stem elongation. And when it comes to flowering, for a short day plants, red light inhibits the flowering and far red light causes flowering. In contrast to this, in long day plants, red light enhances the flowering and far red light inhibits the flowering. So this is all about the phytochromes, which is covered broadly under the photoperiodism. I hope you understood the topic. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you.